Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a fascinating journey through the annals of time, exploring the intricacies of human history and the civilizations that have shaped our world. Today we find ourselves on the vast expanse of the Mongolian steppes as we delve into the captivating tale of the Mongol conquests, one of the most remarkable and transformative events in human history. As we set out to explore this fascinating topic, let us begin by examining the precursors and origins of the Mongol conquests. It is a story that unfolds like a rich tapestry, woven from the threads of tribal rivalries, strategic alliances, and the unwavering ambition of a single individual. Temujin, later known as Genghis Khan Chagatai. In the late 12th century, the Mongolian plateau was a realm of fragmented tribes and petty squabbles, where the rule of law was tenuous at best. It was amidst this tumultuous landscape that Temujin, born around 1162 AD, would rise to prominence. His early life was marked by hardship and struggle as he navigated the treacherous waters of tribal politics and forged alliances with other leaders, including Jamuka, a childhood friend who would later become a bitter rival. As we venture deeper into the Mongolian steppes, let us pause for a moment to consider the geography of this unforgiving yet majestic land. The rolling hills, the vast expanses of grasslands, and the rugged mountain ranges all played a significant role in shaping the Mongol way of life. It was here, in this harsh yet beautiful environment, that Temujin would hone his military skills, develop his strategic vision, and lay the foundations for the empire that would bear his name. In 1206, a council of Mongol chieftains gathered at the Anan River, where they bestowed upon Temujin the title of Genghis Khan, or universal ruler. This momentous occasion marked the beginning of his rise to power, as he set out to unify the warring tribes and expand his dominion through a combination of military conquest, strategic alliances, and clever diplomacy. One notable example of Temujin's early military campaigns was his victory over the Merkid tribe in 1204. The Merkids had long been a thorn in the side of the Mongols, and their defeat marked an important milestone in Temujin's ascent to power. Another key event was the formation of the Mongol army, which was organized into units of tens, hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands, with a strict system of discipline and loyalty. As we explore the earliest history of the Mongol conquests, it becomes clear that Temujin's success was not solely due to his military prowess, but also his ability to adapt and evolve. He adopted the Uyghur script, which allowed him to create a written record of Mongol laws and customs. He also established a system of governance, with a council of advisors and a network of administrators who oversaw the collection of taxes and the administration of justice. The early years of Temujin's leadership were marked by struggle and hardship as he navigated the complex web of tribal alliances and rivalries. He faced opposition from other tribes, including the Tanguts, the Jurchen-led Jin dynasty, and the Muslim kingdoms of Central Asia. However, through a combination of military strength, strategic alliances, and a vision for a unified Mongol people, he began to consolidate power, laying the foundations for the empire that would bear his name. As we conclude this segment on the earliest history of the Mongol conquests, we find ourselves poised on the threshold of a new era, one in which the Mongol Empire will expand at an unprecedented rate, leaving an indelible mark on the world. Join me, dear listeners, as we embark on this thrilling journey, one that will take us to the very pinnacle of power and into the depths of human ingenuity and resilience. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we continue our journey through the annals of time, exploring the intricacies of human history and the civilizations that have shaped our world. As we enter this new era, we find the Mongol Empire expanding at an unprecedented rate, leaving in its wake a trail of transformation that would forever alter the course of human history. One of the key factors contributing to the Mongols' success was their military organization and tactics. The Mongol army was a well-oiled machine, with a strict system of discipline and loyalty. It was organized into units of tens, hundreds, thousands and tens of thousands, with each unit having its own commander and a clear chain of command. This allowed for swift and efficient communication, enabling the Mongols to respond quickly to changing circumstances on the battlefield. Another crucial element was the Mongols' adaptability and ability to learn from their enemies. They adopted the Uyghur script, which enabled them to create a written record of their laws and customs. They also incorporated various technologies and strategies from the cultures they encountered, such as the Chinese use of gunpowder and the Middle Eastern technique of siege warfare. The Mongols' expansion was not limited to military conquest alone. They also established a sophisticated system of governance, with a network of administrators and officials responsible for collecting taxes, maintaining law and order, and overseeing trade and commerce. This allowed them to consolidate their power and create a stable, efficient administrative system that facilitated the flow of goods, ideas, and people across their vast territories. One notable example of the Mongols' administrative prowess was the creation of the Yam station system, which provided a network of postal stations and relay points that enabled messengers to travel quickly and efficiently across the empire. This allowed for rapid communication between different parts of the empire, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and information. As we explore the Mongol Empire's ascent to dominance, it becomes clear that their success was not solely due to their military prowess or administrative acumen. They also possessed a unique cultural and social dynamic, which enabled them to absorb and integrate various cultures and traditions into their own. This was reflected in their tolerance of different religions, languages, and customs, as well as their willingness to adopt and adapt the practices of other cultures. The Mongols' expansion had a profound impact on world history, shaping the course of trade, culture, and politics across continents. The Silk Road, which connected Europe and Asia, flourished under Mongol rule, facilitating the exchange of goods such as spices, textiles, and precious stones. The Mongols also played a significant role in the transmission of ideas, technologies, and innovations, such as paper money, the compass, and gunpowder. As we delve deeper into this fascinating period, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and cultural exchange. We see the rise of notable figures, such as Ojeda Khan, who succeeded Genghis Khan and expanded the empire further, conquering Eastern Europe and the Middle East. We also witness the emergence of other influential leaders, such as Kublai Khan, who founded the Yuan dynasty in China and established trade and cultural exchanges with European merchants. As we conclude this segment on the Mongol Empire's ascent to dominance, we find ourselves at a crossroads, where the threads of history converge and diverge in complex ways. The Mongols' legacy continues to shape our world today, from the modern nation-states that emerged from their empire to the cultural and economic exchanges that continue to flow across the globe. Join me, dear listeners, as we continue our journey through the annals of time, exploring the intricacies of human history and the civilizations that have shaped our world. Welcome back to our podcast, where we've been exploring the fascinating history of the Mongol Empire. As the 14th century dawned, the Mongol Empire began to face internal conflicts, external pressures, and environmental factors that would eventually contribute to its dissolution. One of the primary causes of decline was the Black Death, which ravaged Eurasia in the mid-14th century, decimating populations and disrupting trade networks. The plague had a devastating impact on the Mongols' tax base, leading to a significant decline in revenue and making it difficult for the empire to maintain its vast territories. Another factor contributing to the decline was the fragmentation of the empire into four main khanates: the Yuan dynasty in China, the Golden Horde in Eastern Europe, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia, and the Ilkhanate in Persia. Each khanate had its own ruler, and as time passed, they became increasingly independent, often at odds with one another. This fragmentation led to a decline in the empire's overall cohesion and military strength. The rise of new powers also played a significant role in the Mongols' decline. The Ming dynasty in China, founded by Zhu Yuanzhang in 1368, would eventually expel the Yuan dynasty from China, marking the end of Mongol rule in the region. In Eastern Europe, the Grand Duchy of Moscow began to assert its independence, while the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and the Kingdom of Hungary also emerged as significant powers. The environmental factor of climate change also had a profound impact on the Mongols' decline. The medieval warm period, which had facilitated the Mongols' expansion by creating favorable conditions for horse breeding and pasture land, came to an end in the 14th century. The resulting cooling of the climate led to reduced pasture land, decreased agricultural productivity, and increased competition for resources. As the Mongol Empire fragmented, its legacy continued to shape the world. The Silk Road, which had flourished under Mongol rule, remained a vital trade network, albeit with reduced traffic. The transmission of ideas, technologies, and innovations, such as paper money, the compass, and gunpowder, also continued, influencing the development of civilizations in Europe, Asia, and beyond. One notable example of the Mongols' lasting legacy is the city of Samarkand, which became a major center of trade, culture, and learning under Timur, also known as Tamerlane. This Turco-Mongol ruler, who united various tribes and cities in Central Asia, would go on to found the Timurid Empire, which played a significant role in the preservation and transmission of knowledge, art, and architecture. As we conclude this segment on the decline and fragmentation of the Mongol Empire, we're reminded that even as empires rise and fall, their legacy continues to shape our world. The Mongols' impact on global trade, culture, and politics remains evident today, from the modern nation-states that emerged from their empire to the cultural and economic exchanges that continue to flow across the globe. In our next segment, we'll explore the lasting impact of the Mongol Empire on modern society, examining how their legacy continues to influence international relations, global trade, and cultural exchange. Join me, dear listeners, as we continue our journey through the annals of time, exploring the intricacies of human history and the civilizations that have shaped our world. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.